Hey, it's Millennial Mom here. Today, as we get back into routine in the fall, I'm talking about getting back on budget with your groceries. Because everyone knows the summer can make your budget go wild sometimes. And September, whether you have kids going back to school, whether you're a teacher going back to school, doesn't really matter. Everyone kind of gets back into routine in the fall. So, a good time to get back into routine with sticking to your grocery budget. And here are just a few tips that I use to keep our family of four on budget with groceries. The number one thing that I have found to be super helpful is ordering groceries online. And so this may not sound like the biggest deal, but it really is, because you can actually stick to an exact budget every single time by doing this. Because you sit down, you go through your items, you decide what's on sale, you pick what you need for the week, and maybe extras if you have space in your budget, but you go through and you can actually get it to an exact cents point every time if you want, just by adding and taking away things, because it's all right there. Whereas when you go to the grocery store, it's so much more tempting to add in things, add a few more things, and then get to the front. Are you really going to take things back? No, you're not going to take things back out of your cart very often, especially if you get to the front and see the total. But if you buy your groceries online with your phone or your computer or whatever in front of you, you can actually stick to your exact budget, which is awesome. Number two is I get groceries on a Friday, which is another huge game changer because of this. The weekend is so tempting to order pizza, to, again, go wild with your budget, especially if your groceries are kind of like dwindling because you got groceries back on Monday. And you don't really feel like being that creative because it's the weekend. So it's a lot more tempting to go out. But if you get your groceries on a Friday, you have a fresh batch of all kinds of awesome food for the weekend, and it's a lot less tempting to go out. So you'll spend Saturday maybe having that chicken breast and that fresh lettuce that's still nice and inviting for a salad. And then come Thursday night, even Wednesday or Thursday, when your groceries are starting to dwindle like midweek, it's a lot less tempting to go out. Usually you can be a little bit more creative on weeknights and you think, no, I'm going to stick to the budget and stay in. So get your groceries on a Friday. I get mine delivered Friday morning because I have the liberty of doing that right now because I'm not working out of the home. But you can get them Friday evening too, or like Thursday. I'm just saying later in the week. And finally, I don't spend less than my budget, which sounds maybe like a strange thing, but once you start budgeting with your numbers, it's easy to then spend more next time because you're like, oh, I spent less last week. But you're going to spend more when you try to make up for it. Also, if you ever have that extra money left in your budget because, oh, meat was cheaper this week than usual, or, oh, there was a bunch of great deals on produce, so you didn't spend as much money there, then use that time to think ahead of things that you might be running out of in the future. So still, spend that exact same amount, even though maybe you could have made it a bit cheaper. Try to get stock up items, and that will help you stay on track for future weeks. Fourth thing, this is my fourth and last tip for today, is bake as much as you can. Because even though baking isn't one of the most expensive things when getting groceries, it's something that is so easy to do yourself, especially when you have a bread maker. Putting on a loaf of bread that will last you like 2 days literally takes like 2 minutes to put things into the bread maker, and then either you can take it out and form your own loaf, which really isn't that hard, or most bread makers, you can just bake it right in there. So if you can do your own baking, it's pretty much free. It's so close to free because flour and the other small amounts of ingredients you need to go into it do not cost very much at all. So order online, get your groceries on a Friday, spend your full amount, an exact amount, every single week, and bake as much as you can. There's my tips for staying on budget with a family of four.